what is good, family? It is a family affair here at Rumble House Sports, man. We have a lot to jump into, man. It is your boy Jay.
And this is Chris.
And it's your boy Redman.
So the most talked about thing of AEW Grand Slam was the 30-minute match between Bryan Danielson and the greatest in the world, Kenny Omega. Now, this match lasted 30 minutes and it ended in a draw. Look, say what you want to about WWE, but it actually worked for AEW. Don't you agree, Chris?
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's definitely one of those things that we're not used to seeing. But
and you're talking about as far as time expiring in a match.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Time expiring in a match. That's something, a match being named a draw.
Right.
At that, I think that's the situation where that in particular is one of those anomalies. But I think credit should be given to Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega for keeping the crowd entertained. It was a really good match, in my opinion. And it was the highlight of the last week to me, probably the match of the week between all brands, in my opinion. That's how I feel about it.
I can agree with that, bro. Is that the same way that you feel, Redman?
It was a good match. That's what you call a wrestling match. You know what I mean? And that's something that we don't typically get anymore, from WWE, because obviously we're in the business of sports entertainment, right? And so, we don't typically get actual wrestling matches. So the match itself, obviously, I feel like was really good. However, I don't know if I personally agree with the time expiring finish. Because I get it, you know what I'm saying? It's different. That's not something that we're accustomed to. But like what we said about WWE, about thinking outside of the box. Sometimes it's best to just stay within the box. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, because definitely the decision for it to end in a no contest, meaning like with no clear-cut winner.
It was a draw.
It was a draw. Was a good decision. I agree with that, because I don't think, at that moment in time, we necessarily want to know. Do we really want to know who truly is the best right now?
Yes.
Do we really want to know?
Yeah, we do.
Like,
yeah, we do. Yeah, you can keep going, but we do. Yeah, we do. Just saying, we do.
I get it. So, I agree with the decision for the finish to be a no contest. I just don't know if I necessarily agree with that finish. They could have done, the Elite, right? They could have been a disqualification, something along those lines. I think I would have been okay with. All in all, the match was a good match.
Yeah, it definitely was a good match.
I might, now I would never go against you and question your wrestling knowledge. You the wrestling aficionado. I would never dare question you on that. This is why you're the reason.
I know, Red McMahon. Yeah, Red McMahon. Instead of Stephen Naismith, Red McMahon.
Right. So the wrestling aficionado that you are, I would never dare question anything that you say. But you wrestling fans always talk about, we need something different. We need something new.
I like where you're taking this. I like where you're taking this.
It's something different.
I like
that
it.
Got your eyes open.
He got you. I like that. He got you. You can't, bro. You can't have it both ways. I like that. I like it.
But in the history of professional wrestling,
that doesn't matter.
A match ever ended.
That's the point. That's the point. But that's the point Chris is making. That is the point.
Time expiring.
That's the point.
Unless
an Iron Man match.
Iron Man match.
Yeah, an Iron Man match.
That's the whole point of the match. But who
get the most pins
most
in 30
amount
minutes.
Of falls by the time expires. So with the exception of
that,
on
2K, on WWE on WWE 2K, bro, I just run out the ring and keep getting a bunch of countouts. I hit him with stare. I hit him with oh no, wait a minute, because they be counting DQs when you hit them with stuff. Yeah, bro, I be like slamming them outside, and then when it get to 8, I run back in the ring to get on my pinfalls.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, but like you said, I mean, you really made Chris's point. It's never happened in recent memory. It hasn't happened, and that again is what sets AEW apart from WWE is the lack of predictability. But you being Red McMahon, who would you say had the best debut match? Bryan Danielson against Kenny Omega, or CM Punk against Powerhouse Hobbs, which Powerhouse Hobbs is becoming easily one of my favorite wrestlers on AEW.
Both matches were good matches. I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson.
Why?
And the reason
you better not set a time limit.
No, but the reason why is because man, I'm a fan of wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's what I get when I watch Bryan Danielson. I know I'm going to get a good wrestling match. And with CM Punk and Powerhouse Hobbs, I mean, there was a bunch of different moves and maneuvers and stuff like that, but there weren't really any like wrestling moves involved per se, if that makes sense. And so from that standpoint, I think
you're
that's
saying
why
that the Bryan Danielson match was a bit more technical.
Right. And for that reason, I'm gonna go with Bryan Danielson. But CM Punk definitely was good because, and I know a lot of people will probably go the route of CM Punk because obviously he's been away for so many years, and for him to come back and for him to still be in relatively really good shape,
I think it was 2014. I think it was 2014 when he left the WWE.
Yeah, so I mean, and he still looks good, can still perform at a high level.
Now,
my personal thing, I'm going to go with Bryan Danielson.
Now, the funny thing is that Bryan Danielson says that he didn't have an issue with WWE creative. He states that while other people who left for AEW had issues, we heard Jon Moxley talk about it and different things like that. Bryan Danielson says that he didn't have any issues with WWE creative and actually helped him be more creative. Now, are you buying this, Chris, or is this just something to kind of say in order to, just in case whenever your contract runs out with AEW, you can kind of make that hop back to WWE if you need to?
I mean, I think that it's always good to play nice and keep everything political. You never know. We've heard about superstars that, have been forbidden to ever sign another WWE contract. People like Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose. People like CM Punk, who
formerly known as CM Punk.
Right. Who basically spit on WWE on the way out the door. And I don't know if it's spit back. Maybe they feel that they're spitting back and WWE is spitting at them on their way out. So, who knows why they do things like this. But I feel that the way Bryan Danielson is handling it, I mean, when you get to talking about these professional jobs in the world of entertainment, of course, everything doesn't go right. I'm sure that it has to be a little cap, and he's had to probably deal with some things behind the scenes that he'll never let the public know.
Of course.
But it is always good to play nice because you never know when you're going to need them when that contract expires from one company. How do you feel, Red?
I think.
Are you calling cap?
He
or
is.
You think it's legitimate?
He calling Captain America, Kaepernick, Captain Crunch. That's what he calls.
Because why would I don't know? Because I do feel like that Bryan Danielson, is sugarcoating it a little bit. I can't lie. I think he is. I think he's playing nice, and it's just like y'all said, he has to keep that door open in the event that things don't go well with
and his
AEW.
contract with AEW is only 3 years.
Yeah,
so you think about somebody as
just
young as Bryan Danielson. I mean, you would have a lot left in the tank if it didn't pan out.
Yeah, I think he wanted to try to see, basically what all the hype was about. I read something that said that he felt like that, obviously with his injuries and everything like that, he felt a little handicapped with WWE from time to time. They was being a little bit overprotective.
They were protecting him from himself, or so they thought.
Right, and he didn't want that. He wanted to actually be able to test his limits and everything like that, and that's why he signed with and I get that, but I mean, you look at the way he was booked prior to leaving. I mean, he was in the main event against Roman Reigns, so I don't really understand how they were really handicapping you. I mean,
well, he had those couple of years where they wasn't messing with him like that because of his injuries.
I mean, yeah, I get it, but whatever.
And he had to play out his contract, but you know what I'm saying? You gotta shoot your shot. You gotta throw it out there and just see where it sticks or where it lands.
Right,
now, someone else who decided to throw it out there and see where it sticks, where it lands is Ariane Andrews, right? Formerly known as Carmen, right? I think that was it Carmen? Was it Carmen?
Yeah, something along those lines.
She had a conversation with Vince McMahon and told him that she wanted to come back to the WWE. Now, we see the success of her former tag mate, Naomi or Trinity, we see the success of her. She ain't really getting no matches right now because her and the GM is beefing right now. But, she said she's seen the success of her. She has been the women's champion. She's really had a glow up, pun definitely intended. But do you think that this could be big for the women's division in WWE, or are we kind of just over that boat? Like the women that we have there right now is holding it down.
The women that we have now definitely holding it down. I mean, this is the best the women's division has ever been. And
credit to Charlotte Flair. I cannot say this without credit to Charlotte. Charlotte is she is phenomenal. She's the queen. She made the women's division watchable. I know Stephanie tried to do that. I know people are going to try to say something about Natty, but I'm telling you, Charlotte Flair and her wrestling ability, I know Natty has it as well.
Ain't nobody caring about Natty, bro.
I'm just, but she's from the Heart, she's from that Heart Factory and, or the Heart Dynasty and different things like that. But yeah, go ahead. Charlotte is the reason this women's division is so great. But go ahead.
This is the best that the women's division has ever been, even going back to the days of China.
Cameron, Lita, not Carmen, Cameron.
Even going back to the days of Lita, Trish Stratus, China. I mean, Jack.
I mean, it was pretty good then, but the problem was it wasn't real focus on the women's division then.
Yeah. I mean, the women's division is the best that it's ever been, and that's one thing. I mean, there are things that WWE is doing better than AEW naturally, but definitely one of the things I can say that AEW does need to work on is their women's division. Their women's division is
I've heard that a lot.
Nowhere near close to where WWE's women's division is. Nowhere near close.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. What do you think, Chris? Do you think the WWE needs to bring her back, or do you think it's pretty solid without her?
It's solid. The WWE is in good hands with their women's division on both shows. The women, the WWE wanted to change the focus of women. They didn't want to have just supermodels on a show.
They didn't want to have just bra and panties matches.
Right. Bra and panty matches.
They used to like those matches.
We did used to like those matches.
They wanted women to be.
The only reason why we played with them on on the game.
Right. They wanted.
I know Dustin did those matches.
What did you say?
He said that's the only reason why we used to play with the girls on the game.
Yeah, right.
It was just to do the bra and panties matches.
Yeah, to do a bra and panties match. But when they first introduced that on Raw and SmackDown, you can't say the kids didn't go crazy over that.
I mean, of course the kids went crazy seeing grown women in bra and panties. Yes, of course.
On a video game.
Right.
On a video game.
Right.
But Yeah, they're doing good, man. And credit should go to the WWE for how they have turned the way that the women's division has looked like. They're taken serious as wrestlers. And like you said, it hasn't been like this since the Trish Stratus and Lita days. And really, back in those days, those were really the only two that were really taken serious as wrestlers, as good competitors, and everybody else was pretty much eye candy. And forgive me if I'm forgetting. And forgive me if I'm forgetting about people.
Lita was that one though. Lita.
But they
Trish,
really pushed those two. That's the only thing I'm trying to say.
Mickey James.
Yeah, Mickey James.
Yep. Chyna, to a certain extent, she was the only one that would really give it to.
Right.
Yeah,
But
Phoenix,
wrestlers like Stacy Keibler and Tori Wilson was just simply there for eye candy.
They were. But
Tori Wilson had instances where she would kind of flex her wrestling.
No, she was okay, but mainly.
Yeah, but I hear you. Yeah, you're right.
Mainly eye candy. You know what I'm saying? So, but back in that time, who were they mainly pushing? They were mainly pushing Lita. They were mainly pushing Lita and Trish.
Noble's girlfriend back in the day.
Oh, from
SmackDown, yeah. SmackDown,
yeah. Bro, we used to like Jamie Noble, bro. Hey,
he's a part of WWE Creative, ain't he?
Yeah, bro. I be seeing him in the back when they be fighting and the security and stuff be coming out trying to break us the fight. He's Jamie Noble right there, man. I know that's Jamie Noble.
He be the smallest person in the brawl, bro.
Remember, he's the part of
that we grew up watching, bro. Like, we gonna know their face. It don't matter if, we gonna know your face, man.
Well, and plus he got that thick country accent, bro. You ain't
right.
Like, you not
bro. They actually brought Jamie Noble back with Seth Rollins as part of J&J Security, bro.
Right.
It was,
yeah.
It was Jamie Noble. It was Jamie Noble and one other dude that used to. Oh, I think he used to wrestle with Eminem. He was one of the Eminem dudes.
Right.
And so they was J&J Security, bro. That stuff was funny, bro.
Dan, speaking of people that certain things almost happened to, and different things like that. Apparently, Big E almost was supposed to be in the Shield. Do y'all think that would have worked out?
Yeah, I heard something about that.
It seemed like New Day was a perfect fit for him because it seemed like he's always been like silly, right? It seemed like he's always been the type to have fun. So New Day is perfect.
Obviously, because I think that if you have Big E, because Roman Reigns was the muscle. Roman Reigns is the muscle of the group.
I hear you.
If you have Big E, you take out Roman Reigns. Yeah. So that's probably what they thought about doing at first, and then probably saw that it'd be better that if Roman Reigns would be a better fit, and then we push Big E as a solo competitor.
I will say that when Roman Reigns was with the Shield in the beginning, he didn't have much personality, and so it would have.
He was just a muscle.
Yeah,
he was just a muscle.
Yeah, man. So look, man, we really could go on these topics all day, every day. I got tons that we could get to, but we'll let y'all off easy today, man. Y'all are tuned in to Rumble House Sports. It's your boy Jay,
and this is Chris,
and it's your boy Red, man.
And I promise this is the last topic for the show. Let's go.
Yes, sir.